Are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in riding high. Just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Cunningham leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 8 catches, 134 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Let's go! Here's Watson now on 2nd down, and he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. And a big play there on 2nd down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's go!
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Third and long. It's Watson on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The numbers for Bell on the ground of the game last week. 24 carries, 85 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And this is caught at the 8. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating.
Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
They will run again with Coleman. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On 3rd down, that's Coleman, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. They go play action here on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. To throw on 2nd is Watson. And some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just looking the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice and ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Going deep here for Bryant. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Martavis Bryant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will he?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. Watson on 3rd down. And he's got Moncrief. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. To throw is Watson. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Martavis Bryant and the offense getting set to go again here. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. They go play action with Roethlisberger. That is caught inside the 5. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, let's roll the highlights. Steelers on 2nd and 7. Cunningham's got to get to the quarterback here. This one ends up as a loss of 6. Steelers have it at the 30. Roethlisberger's on target here. And 30 yards later, he's going in for the score as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Steelers with the ball midway through the second. He'll scramble away and complete the pass. And it leads to a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Final seconds in the first half. Roethlisberger's under pressure and throws the pick. Texans will come away with the football. So that'll do it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We're going back under the lights for the second half of this Sunday night matchup.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Watson now to throw on second down. Caught left side Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down.
Let's go!
Here's Watson. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Coleman now. And he loses the football a second time. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. Second down here. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And now running right through him. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the former Rice Al Boswell puts this one through in his return to Houston. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see they'll be the AFC South representative, but for the moment at least, they'd still need to host a wild card game in that first weekend. Not the worst thing in the world.
Not the worst thing in the world, but for the AFC South as a division, hoping that this will be the representative that wins that first round, because it's been a little while since that's happened. So they're hoping to actually use that game, get a win, and advance deeper into the playoffs. It's been a short run in recent seasons.
Here we go.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he's got it, Fedorowicz. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And first down, a 12-yard pickup. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Hopkins with a quick feet, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Stopped short of the 25. The 2nd effort couldn't free him. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, of one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
On the right side, this is Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
To throw is Watson from the gun on third down. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Watson hands this to Foreman, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. We turn our attention here to Martavis Bryant. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good, too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. A beautiful spin and room to run. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll look to throw. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. He's back to throw. And he's got some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Here we go.
Back to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. He'll look to throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. Back to throw. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Here we go.
Watson now to throw. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Run with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's Roethlisberger. Going deep here for Bryant. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
To return, it's Cam Sutton. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They'd love to hold on to that, but first things first, they want to clinch that division.
Well, let's go back to the conversation we had with the coaching staff, and you asked that very question about how important is it really? You got a good team. Can't you win from any spot in the play? They all looked at us like we were crazy, right? You can do it from a lower seed, but no one really wants to try it. Higher seed, much better for them. They want to clinch this division.
Definitely don't want to slip to 5 or 6 and go on the road in that first playoff game. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Bryant with a catch right side. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. A huge play there in overtime, 41 yards. Defensively now, the ultimate challenge. Of course, the ball gets in the end zone, this thing's over.
And I remember my coaches always talked about in goal line situations, and now you're in overtime where they have to keep them to 3 points. Otherwise, this thing is done. Win your individual battle within the framework of the team defense. Beat that guy across from you and make a play. I expect them to attack on defense and not sit back.
And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Biggest play now in this opening drive of overtime. This is 3rd and goal. Now Roethlisberger. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime. A little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Pittsburgh, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.